Hello, my name is Emma Williams and I'm part of the NDS team. In this video we will be discussing what an education health and care plan is and what it entails. Education health and care plans can be referred to as an EHCP. An EHCP is a legal document which describes a child or young person's special educational needs, the support they need and the outcomes they would like to achieve. The special education provision described in an EHCP must be provided by the child or young person's local authority, which can sometimes be referred to as an LA. This means that an EHCP can give a child or a young person extra educational support. An EHCP can only be issued after a child or young person has gone through the process of an education health and care needs assessment and the local authority agree to issuing a draft plan. So who needs an education health and care plan? Most children and young people with special educational needs will have support without the need of an EHCP. This will be done through the graduated approach. The graduated approach is set out in Chapter 6 of the SEND Code of Practice. However, some children and young people may need support offered through a plan. These plans are for children and young people whose SEND cannot be met through the graduated approach and therefore additional support is required. So what does an education health and care plan contain? Well, education health and care plans are required by law to contain certain sections. The EHCP should be written in a way that makes it clear to parents, young people, schools, colleges and the local authority who is required to do what, when it must happen and how often it should be reviewed. An EHCP does not have to have a fixed format. That means that each local authority can develop its own style, but legally they must contain a number of separate sections. So what are these sections? What should be in an EHCP? An EHCP must have the following sections. Section A, the views, interests and aspirations of the child and their parents or the young person. Section B, the child's or young person's special educational needs. Section C, health care needs which relate to their SEND. Section D, social care needs relating to their SEND. Section E, the outcomes sought for the child or young person. Section F, the special education provision required to meet their SEND. Section G, any healthcare provision reasonably required by the learning difficulties or disabilities which result in the child or young person having SEN. Section H, any social care provision required from the social services under the Chronically Sick and Disabled Persons Act 1970 and or reasonably required by the learning difficulties or disabilities which result in the child or young person having SEN. Section I, the name of the school or other institution to be attended by the child or young person and the type of that institution. Section J, details of any direct payments which will be made. Section K, copies of all the evidence and information obtained as part of the EHCP needs assessment. An EHCP should be based on decisions made openly with parents, children and young people. It should be clear, understandable and accessible. It should be clear on how education, health and care provision will be coordinated, and it should also be forward-looking, for example, anticipating, planning and commissioning for important transition points in a child or young person's life. Children and young people's needs will change. Therefore, the local authority must review the EHCP at least once every 12 months. This must be done in partnership with parents, carers, children and young people and must take in consideration their views, wishes and feelings. The local authority must decide whether to keep the plan as it is, make any changes or cease to maintain it within 4 weeks of the annual review. For some young people, an EHCP will continue until they're 25. However, the plan will stop if the young person goes to university, undertakes paid employment, tells their local authority they no longer want their plan, or they have met all the outcomes and the plan is no longer needed. See our video on annual reviews for more details about this process. Thank you so much for watching this video.